Welcome back to the Digital Hustle Podcast. Hey, before we jump into today's topic, I've got something for you. If you're interested in a way to potentially turn just 15 minutes a day into $200 to $800 simply by reading some proven scripts, you're definitely going to want to check out the very first link in the description below. Okay, so today we're diving into something pretty exciting. There's this new wave of AI tools hitting the market, and they all have this incredible promise of turning pretty much anyone into an author, like almost overnight. One of the latest ones on the block is called MagicBook AI. So what we're going to do today is deconstruct its own marketing materials to really understand the problems it's trying to solve, the features it's offering, and the whole business opportunity it claims you can unlock. Okay, let's get into it.
So here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to take a look at what they call the publishing problem, the big headaches they're aiming to fix. Then we'll explore their AI-powered solution and all the cool interactive features they're talking about. After that, we'll see how this whole keyword to book process is actually supposed to work. And finally, we'll wrap things up by breaking down the business case they're making to their users. It's a full breakdown, so let's get started. And this right here is their big, bold promise. Say goodbye to boring ebooks and PDFs. I mean, that's a pretty powerful statement, isn't it? The whole idea is to move beyond those static, kind of lifeless documents that we're all so used to. They want to help you create what they call lifelike interactive books. Books that can actually talk to your readers and really pull them in. It's a huge claim, for sure, so let's dig in and see how they actually propose to do it. All right, so to really appreciate the solution, we first have to understand the problem, right? The material frames all of this by outlining the major hurdles that honestly stop most people from ever becoming authors, or even just creating high-quality digital content in the first place. First up is problem number one, the sheer effort involved. Creating a book manually is just overwhelming and it takes forever. And isn't that the truth? It's not just about writing, you also have to think about the design, the formatting, maybe syncing up multimedia. Their argument is that this process, which starts as a fun idea, quickly turns into hours and hours of frustrating work and endless edits. It creates this massive barrier to entry that most people just can't get past. So what's the logical next step for a lot of people? Well, you try to outsource it. But that leads directly to the second major hurdle, the cost. They highlight that hiring experts like ghostwriters and professional designers, well, it's expensive. These folks charge some pretty hefty hourly rates, which puts creating a professional quality book completely out of reach for most people, and especially for small businesses. And here's the third core problem they point out. Even if you manage to power through all of that and you actually create something, the standard format is usually just a static PDF. In a world where everyone has a short attention span, a flat wall of text really struggles to hold anyone's interest. With no video, no audio, no interaction, the result is almost always low reader retention. People just tune out. So, having laid out all of those challenges, the time, the expense, the lack of engagement, the material then presents its answer, MagicBook AI. This is the technology that they're positioning as the way to overcome all of those hurdles we just talked about. So, what is it exactly? Well, it's described as an engine that takes a really simple input. We're talking about something as simple as a keyword, an idea you have, a web page URL, or even an old PDF, and then it uses AI to transform it into a fully realized interactive book. The key selling point here, and it's a big one, is that it supposedly removes the need for you to have any specialized writing or design skills. The versatility they're claiming here is pretty significant. This isn't just for simple text documents. The list covers pretty much everything, from novels and kids' books to business manuals and even comic books. You can make planners, journals, cookbooks, you name it. This broad appeal is a major part of their pitch because it means it can be used in almost any niche. Okay, and this brings us to the magic part of MagicBook AI. What is it that actually makes these books interactive? This next section details the specific tools they've built in that are designed to make these creations way more engaging than a standard, boring old PDF. Here's where that interactive part really comes to life. You can embed rich media like videos, GIFs, and image galleries right into the book. You can add clickable call to action buttons, which is huge for business. It even uses AI voices to narrate the text while highlighting the words as it goes. Plus, there are business-focused tools like lead capture forms you can put right inside the book and QR codes for super easy sharing. The potential here is pretty wild. Speaking of potential, if you're getting some value out of this breakdown, do me a quick favor and hit that like button and subscribe to the Digital Hustle Podcast. It really helps the channel out a ton. Okay, let's keep going. Now, with a feature set that robust, you might expect a really complicated process. But instead, the creators are emphasizing simplicity. They're framing the entire workflow as a simple 3-click process. Let's see if it's really that easy. And here it is. Step 1 is just logging in. Step 2 is the core of the tool. You give it an input, let the AI generate the book. And step 3 is all about monetization, distributing the final product on various online marketplaces like Amazon, Etsy, you name it. The crucial point they're making is just how easy and user-friendly this whole thing is supposed to be. And that focus on selling leads us right into the final section, the business opportunity. This tool isn't just positioned as a creative outlet, it's being framed as a way for users to build a real business in the massive publishing market. To illustrate the potential, they use this huge figure, a $145 billion global publishing industry, to frame the scale of the market. The implication is crystal clear. You don't need to capture much of that. Even a tiny, tiny fraction of it could represent a really significant income stream for you as a user. The core value proposition is presented as a choice between 2 paths. The ordinary path is all about those problems we discussed earlier: creating static content, paying monthly software fees, struggling for engagement. In contrast, the smart path, as they call it, involves using this tool to create these cool, interactive books for just a one-time payment. And when you look at their direct feature comparison, the key differences really stand out. Where generic books have limited engagement, they claim to enhance it with call to actions. Where content is just static text, they offer rich media like videos and GIFs. And crucially for business, where PDFs have 0 lead generation capabilities, this tool has built-in lead forms. It's a pretty compelling argument. And this is a really key feature. This isn't just for your own personal projects. A commercial license is included, which gives you the right to create and sell these interactive books as a service for clients. You could literally start a business creating these for other people. This opens up a whole different business model. And that brings us to our final thought. Tools like MagicBook AI really do represent a major shift. As AI gets better at automating the technical and even the creative parts of content creation, it begs the question, what does it even mean to be an author in the future? It's a fascinating question to consider as these tools become more and more common. Well, that's our deep dive. If this sounds like something you want to try out for yourself, I've put a link down in the description where you can check it out and get your own copy. Thanks for tuning in to the Digital Hustle Podcast, and I'll catch you in the next one.